Hi traders, right. A few things I should say first. This is going to be a long rambling video. Apologies. I'm not into making scripts. Maybe I will be at a later stage. Second thing, I'm moving away out of the UK, so I have no idea what I am going to be doing out there. I mean, I've been working hard with my trading and filling in time due to family circumstances and stuff. Um, in order to take myself off abroad. Total change of plans, really, due to circumstances out of my control, but for the good. So, what I hope to do when I get abroad, sorry for this little ramble, you can just jump forward. What I hope to do before getting abroad, when abroad, is kick the arse out of everything that I do, trading wise, video production wise, potentially doing one-to-one mentoring, just because I love it so much. Oh, and another thing I want to mention in this video, my improvements, my personal trading improvements have gone into the stratosphere. And I can only put that down to my obsession with PriceAction. And as I've said many times before, the the 2B reversal, the 3CR that came from Vic Sperandio's 2B reversal, forever grateful. The addition of multi-time frame momentum, and then the addition of understanding the timing of candle closes. All of those things put together, and then with everything else I've learned over the years, decades, it is just going mad. And that's sort of partly why I keep posting trades, not to be bragging or anything like that, just to encourage people. I wish I could have found someone that I could absolutely take encouragement from. I did, but those were in the days before social media and all that. It was forums, and I've mentioned this many times before. Billy TT, ex-professional city traders. That I used to think to myself, why do they just keep helping people for free and posting stuff and whatnot back then? And I get it now, 100%. I get it. But there is a problem with free stuff. It's not given any value. So, in terms of perceived value, people perceive free stuff to be worthless. So it's a fine balance. Got to work out how to deal with that. But currently, I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall compared with all these scammers out there. And it's I've just got to find a way to get across to people. And I want to give value for money, of course. And it's not about me dragging the money out. It's about this perceived value, as I say. Anyway, rant over. Sorry about that. So I'm not doing all the stuff I do to brag. It's just because I just keep improving. And if you've watched what I do from day one, back in day one when I say I came into social media because of the atrocious scamming going on, and primarily because I was bored due to COVID and you know too much time on my hands as opposed to just spending it away from charts on purpose back then. For 15 years before that, because that worked. Make one trade a day, walk away, do the same thing the following day. In hindsight, that was probably one of the worst things I could ever do because it was the wrong time to do it. I'm talking about one trade a day, walk away, do it the following, because I am I am in a different position now. It's hard to explain. Sorry, you can tell I can't find the words. Then, it always felt like a struggle back then. I'm only talking about start of COVID. It was hard work. I hadn't got enough of what I've got now. Don't know what it is, that secret sauce, whatever you want to call it. But with everything I've done in the past now, I told you this was going to be a bit of a rambling video. and I will get to the point of the charts, because the reason for this video also is that I'm looking at charts. I've come back to the charts after a break. Well, I had a bit of lunch actually, and why not share what I'm doing? It's drizzling outside. I'm waiting to go abroad. I don't want to really, you know, bang on about everything that needs to be doing normally. I'm just chilling out, and why not share my actual chart study as if I was looking for a trade. So we're on UJ. We are on the president's election day for the USA. Trump has won it, barring all the dotting the I's and crossing the T's by all accounts, late votes and all that. But he's won the popular vote, and I think he's a shoo-in. So looking at UJ, obviously it's going to just pile up because, well, the majority of America love him, and he's a contentious character, obviously. But I think he is unusual in that he doesn't care about all this PC BS and stuff like that. He will just decide, make a decision, get the job done. Whether it be good or bad, at least he's a strong decision maker, from what I gather anyway. Anyway, back to the chart. So ramble over that ramble anyway. Now we'll ramble about charts. So UJ, due to the president's elect and all that lot, has moved monster moves. Dollar, we're talking about. Under normal circumstances, it would be dangerous to trade at this level. And this is why I'm making this video, because there's so much in my head that I can't express on videos. I might as well put as much as I can into this one video. And it's going to be long, so watch it on twice speed or whatever. But, you know, I don't trade fundamentals. And the more I've talked about in the past, tweeted on my feed, we trade mechanical. It's a mechanical system. I trade like a machine. I've talked about that. I use that phrase a lot in the past. I treat trading like it's a computer game. So that's all it is, green or red, and then all the other bits and pieces in this intricate computer game that I'm playing. You know, ADRs and pivots and the support and resistance levels. I don't need to think too much about trading now. I just need to make sure I've got all my boxes ticked. On this time frame here, H1, this UJ is still not really weakening off. I've talked about the TMA. I love the TMA for divergence, but it is more sensitive than the RSI histo. So I tend to like them both to agree for a really, what I call a AAA plus trade. But as I say, there's always nuances. So getting back to the point of this video really is to encourage newer traders that find my stuff, like the days of old for me when I found ex-professional traders. And it's not just one professional trader, it was a triple, 3 professional traders, ex-pros. And that is important to me because they, you know, like whatever they talk about, you know, we all flock together. Like-minded people stay together. So we're not just listening to one person claiming he's a pro. They will have rather, you know, talked in the background, whatever, build up a relationship. And we're talking years of these people trading together and comparing notes. And the point for me is that they're scalping. You know, all of these pretend traders that talk about reward risk ratio, RRR, and then all of these pretend traders that have studied charts for a few months realized that trading is impossible, nigh on impossible to do without 3, 4, 5 years. Then they start scamming people, you know. Oh, I'm SMC this, and SMC++, and I'm ICT this, and I'm ICT the algo's mentor's algo mentor. It's all BS. You got to find the real people. So, you know, I did that, and that was good for me. You have to sift through the thousands and thousands of people online, and it's just getting worse by the decade, by the year, whatever you want to call it. It gets worse and worse and worse. So you've got to find the right people. You've got to stick with the right people. And what I'm trying to get across to newer traders that find this stuff, and older traders that have been following me, is that the most important thing, and there are many good traders on that talk about this on the social media platforms, you have to, it's not about the patterns, it's not about finding the potentially holy grail of trading in a few months and then setting out and scamming people. It's about training your brain to cope with the adrenaline rush of winning a trade, winning a few trades, and then blowing the lot, and then chasing the losses, and then blowing accounts and blowing money. I've said many times, and I'm going to make this a long video and try and cover every point. I've said many times in the past, trading real money is the worst thing you can do unless you've got 4 or 5 years under your belt. It's stupid. You wouldn't get into a racing car without training. You wouldn't try and run a marathon without years of training, you know, in terms of the elite Olympic marathoners. You know, you wouldn't try and skydive without trading. So why would you waste real money without training, rather? Why would you waste real money? That's it. Simple as that. I don't care about these people that say, oh, trade, you've got to have skin in the game, you've got to trade a few pennies. You know, pennies aren't real money. The only way to train yourself and train your brain is to trade the same size as you would with real money, if you like. So, you know, if you want to make £1,000 a day, you've got to do all your risk reward calculations on that £1,000 and trade a demo account. I can't stress this enough. This worked for me. You know, after I'd lost and blown, you know, not hundreds of accounts, dozens of accounts, and lost thousands and thousands, and I regret it. But you know, I don't want you to have the same regrets as me and fail, because you've given it 3 years and you've lost thousands, and either you risk your relationships and your family, or I don't know, maybe you've got the money to lose. But it seems to me, you know, some people have lost everything, houses, hundreds and hundreds of thousands. I mean, people talk about, this is off a tangent again, but I was reading a thread yesterday about people using these prop firms, and you know, they're saying, oh, I've lost 30 accounts so far, so this is my, you know, I'm going to turn it into what you do, you know, you scammer, come influencer, faker, whatever, that's telling everyone he's made 30 grand on a withdrawn 30 grand or whatever from FTMO. You know, oh, I've blown 20 challenges. Yeah, why would you pay for a challenge or load up a real money account if you can't trade? Fuckwits. But hopefully some of you will listen to what I'm saying here. I know it's a rant and I know it's a bit preachy, but it's coming from the right place, guys. So let's get down to this chart. It's done nothing since I've been ranting. Gold is looking great, actually. Look at gold. See, if you want to go green, go long, it's got to be in the 80s. If you want to go short, I want to see it below the 20 level over there. Gold is screaming at me. I've traded gold up, down and sideways all day today. So let's have a look at the gold chart. I hope some of you are still here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry about the blasphemy. Jesus Christ. I'm getting worse. first thing I would do if I'd open this chart, come back from a walk or whatever. I mean, these moves are massive. 7K ADR. You know, what is happening with gold? They are pushing it down to a level, and everyone piles in, and then they will bang it up again. That's all there is to it. Gold is going down because US dollar is strong. They have to, the way the markets work is they're flogging the US dollar to pile into, they're doing it the other way, flogging gold to pile into the US dollar. And when the lemmings get on board with this sell, they will reverse it, the big money. No doubt the stocks are going through the roof as well because they'll be buying stocks with it, potentially. We're getting into fundamental, and I don't care about fundies. So let's just have a look. First thing I would do when I look at this, let's say this was a 5-minute chart. It's not, it's H1. It's just crazy. Is Bung Dean's lines on there? Told you this was going to be a long video, but, I use everything, every tool in my toolbox. So we've tested an old resistance level. What is it? A monthly high, 26.85. So it's not even a significant round number or anything like that. Have they pushed this down to 2,500? I used to use round numbers a lot, actually, but it's just too many lines on my charts, and half round numbers and quarter round numbers and all that lot. All we need to look at really is when these three turned red, when that TMA turned red, there was another brilliant sell opportunity here. So all three turned red on the close of that candle. Then all you got to do really is drop down. We know that candle is liable to push back up, which it did. You can't make this stuff up. It's, I've got this indelibly imprinted on my brain now. Everything, and that's another reason for this video, guys, is that you need to get to the stage, and if you don't make the same mistakes I made, hunting around for the holy grail of trading. Will it be the Fibonacci's? Will it be multi-time frame moving averages? Is it going to be, all the other stuff, VWAPs, VPOCs, and is it going to be all those funny triangle, I forget what they're called now, but market profile stuff, all that gear? You don't need it, really. You don't need to even know about it, although it's handy, and it's, give it the time it's required to get good at this. But, three reds, we know it's going to pull back because it's just broken a level of, and this isn't even what I call valid support. It's all your true support comes out of an uptrend. But the most recent break will most likely pull back to test that. If it broken something massive on the left-hand side over here, then the pullback will only go to, or potentially only go to, that left-hand side, what I call true support and resistance, or valid support and resistance in an uptrend, in the up move. So hundreds and hundreds of things to take into account. But, if you're in such good position now, traders, because you have all this computerized stuff that we didn't have back in the day, a few crappy indicators and whatnot. You've got all of these specialists now that are sharing stuff for free, good or bad. You got the scammers selling it. There are even the scammers that are selling stuff now have information that is 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times better than we had 20 years ago, whatever. So I can go back now. I've said this in many videos. I can go back over all the old stuff, all the fibs and all those other fancy indicators and bits and pieces, and I can build my confidence even more. I'm not changing my fundamental basics. The best way to start is the RSI bust, pullback, break and close. With the 2B reversal, with the 3 CRs, but you don't need to be a specialist in all of them. Just build your own speciality. Look at that pushing down. I mean, these moves are just crazy. And you know, I've talked about this. If you do happen to be watching this because you can't be bothered to watch all the other ones, please, you know, I understand. I totally get it. Time is precious. Life is precious. But if you want to make, you know, life-changing, you know, a, a life that will be absolute paradise compared to most people in the world, then you've got to put in the hours. I mean, you know, I was talking about these moves. I mean, I watched a 90 pip move, but this is crazy. Let's have a look where we are. That's 261 pips there. That one candle. You know, it's not even divided by 10 like you do with the indices. That's 126, or is it 1200 pips? I haven't got a clue now. I've lost all sense of reality with this. It's just crazy. But I guarantee you, it's going to bounce. But we don't have to guess. We just have to use multi-time frame analysis. It will start on the 1 minute. That was a massive move up there. And just a minute, I've got to pause this. Right, sorry about that. Just crazy. But, you know, I'm not trading this. I was looking for a safe little trade, and I thought I might be able to share it with you. But I'm not just going to hit gold in a continuation in a dangerous place for the sake of it. It's, you know, these are dangerous. I talked about UJ just now, and that was dangerous in my opinion. And look, I actually put this as a high on the H1 there, and I was waiting for a trade, potentially, possibly long on that. Now gold is collapsing, so dollar should be going long. So that suggests to me, just that little thing, that thought, suggests to me that gold may be getting ready for a bounce. But on the other side of that coin, or a double-edged sword, whatever cliche you want to use, the fact that this is got a long tail on it suggests dollar may well continue. The time, remember, that's important, 13:31. I haven't even bothered checking whether there's news today, to be honest with you. I should have done, but to be fair, I've made so many good trades today, using everything I talk about here and on all my other videos now, and it gets better and better. Can't emphasize that enough. You know, if it wasn't drizzling, I'd be out doing something, and if I wasn't going away for potentially ever to my idea of paradise, then I wouldn't be here talking for hours on end on YouTube. But so UJ, this has had a nice little pullback on this now. So thinking out loud. If it does break higher, you know, I can keep chatting on this video for hours if necessary. Then it will follow all the rules. This will need to change to green again, something like that. And that's another thing. Look left, guys. You know, I mean, it isn't just a glib saying. I use it in every trade. I use this in every trade. I use this in every trade. I use this in every trade. You know, I talked about these numbers. Look at gold. It's 40, excuse me, and 14 there, and 14 and lower than 13 there. Now, this is a live, real life example, which I've not talked about before. Well, I have talked about, but not talked in life, real life. This is 20 on H4. You know, so these are the numbers. This is why I wanted this extra column here with the cumulative, the added numbers, so that I know the guys did create this, and so that the lowest and the highest are all sorted. But it would be lovely to have that extra column on there. But that's, again, when I'm abroad and settled and got over the excitement of being abroad in paradise, my idea of it, then I shall, you know, start to reach out to coders again and get stuff built how I want it to be. And I want this all altered now. And you know, we'll do some sort of deal hopefully, which is why I want to go down the you know, limited route, as it were, not free anymore, so that everyone gets their pound of flesh, as it were, you know, for all their efforts. I mean, I am eternally grateful for all of these this free stuff that people have done for me over the years. And oh, I haven't even mentioned the 3CR bot. That's still chugging along, but needs a lot of work to get right. So you know, I just can't. I hope I live to 100, so that I can just keep improving. I mentioned that in the previous video, because it's just, you know, hour or two a day trading, and the other 22 hours a day spread between sleep, socializing, and living retirement to its fullest. So what was I going to say? So I've covered most of the stuff. You know, I've rambled on. Do apologise about that, guys. But you know, I've got nothing better to do when it's raining, and I'm running out of jobs to do before I go away now. So this is interesting. I mean, line charts. Let's talk about line charts. If this is the one and only video you watch, then it may well be, of mine you watch rather, it may be worth talking about line charts as well. So this has made a new low now. The buyers that created this higher low, or lower high rather, sorry, the buyers that created this lower high have been overwhelmed by the sellers here. So UJ is going down, which should suggest gold's weakening off, but they could be piling out. Remember, there's always caveats. They could be piling out of dollar at this point to load up on stocks. It could be news related. I haven't looked at the news, as I say. We have still got another hour roughly until the stocks open. The US 30, the Dow, the US 100. Forgot what it was for a moment. US Tech, whatever, Nasdaq. So, but this, look at this line chart. It's still broken that low on the bars and candles. Well, actually saying that, it hasn't, because we've got a massive wick down here. But if this closes below that there, then the sellers are in control. But that's another nuance. You know, there's so much that I understand about these charts, and because I understand it, it gives me the confidence to trade. Belief, confidence comes from thousands upon thousands of hours of watching charts, talking about them with people. I mean, you know, there is a upside to sharing your work and analysis with other people, because it forces you to check what you're talking about, check what you're saying. So there are upsides to that, but not if you're charging people when you don't know what you're talking about, really, because you know, that's a big problem, really. So what have we got going on here? We've got loads. I mean, big gaps. I was talking about big gaps with someone yesterday. You know, we don't want to be trading these messy. There's not really one on here, but I did see one on another chart somewhere and forgot about it now. We were talking about it. You want to be trading the big gaps. It sounds obvious, but a lot of people, A, don't understand it, but that's where the line charts come in. So let's go back on that 5 minute, because that was a good example. We've got a big gap there. You know, it's not ripply. We've got this massive gap here. And you'll find if we put Dean's lines on there, then there will be these gaps between them. Let's stack Dean's lines on here, actually. And that's not a very good example, is it? Because we've had these huge moves. But this area here, you know, that's a big gap, and you've got clear air all here. There is, and this is why we get these huge price movements between these areas. You know, these are massive, these gaps. Let's go back to the 5 minute and see what this is. Oh, this is UJ, isn't it? Let's have a look at gold. Oh God. I've got to put the Dean's lines on this now. There we go. Just unbelievable. You know, when it breaks that level, you know, where's it going? It's going to move. These numbers are just blowing my mind now. I'm losing. I think that's 100 pips, 114 pips. I'm a scalper. I say this so many times. I only want 7 or 8 pips, 10 pips, whatever. So that's going to be the same, roughly. 116. What's going on down there? Oh, yes, that's where it's off to. We've got loads of room down, loads of problems there, and then a massive gap before. So, I mean, this is, you know, I can't fail to see that this is an area of importance for me, looking for a potential reversal to the upside. You know, there's loads of stuff you can do with Dean's lines as well. I have this set to automated 10, 10, 5. 10 weekly, 10 daily, 10 and 5 H4s. Dean has built the thing so it works on H1, and you could change it to 100, 300 weekly levels. And you can, you know, don't forget you can do manual as well. I've talked about that many times in my videos. So, you know, once you know what you're doing, it's not just a question of finding the latest thing, i.e. someone finds me and think, oh, right, okay, you know, where's Dean's lines? Instead of going onto my Twitter feed and looking for all the stuff they ask and I ignore them, you know, where are your indicators? Ignore them. You know, go and do the work, guys. Sorry if that sounds a bit abrupt, but most people that will ask me for the indicators will want to, you know, steal them or whatever, call them something else. And that's it. So I'm going to call this a day now. I've rambled on. If you've got any questions, by all means, please, not about indicators and templates and all that lazy stuff. You know, if you want to talk to me about anything on here, then, you know, when I'm settled abroad, we can arrange, you know, one-to-one paid mentorship or whatever, one-to-one paid sessions. Time's money. But the guys that take the time to study my stuff will understand the importance and the value of, you know, the value of the information gathered over 20 plus years, and most importantly, all the new stuff. So if you've got hours and hours, go and watch the videos, because it's all there, and it's all in my close to 50,000 tweets on Twitter. It's all there. But if time is, you know, family people, they haven't got the time, then I'm happy to help you, and you know what to do. So anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching. If anyone actually gets to the end of this, and have a wonderful day. I'm hoping the rain will stop so I can go for a nice long walk again. That's it. Thank you again, guys. Have a good day.